Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else for this album.
Let's get into Nevermind, 1991, arguably one of the best albums of all time.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way here.
Certainly in that genre.
Yeah, this is... Well, and let's talk about this, too, before we get into the music a little bit. This album cover is also one of the most iconic album covers of all time.
Facts.
For those of you who haven't seen this, you probably have, but it's a picture of a baby, like maybe a 1-year-old, floating face down in a pool, naked. And interestingly enough, you can see this little kid's dick in the album. I have no, like, I can't sympathize and like figure out why they would choose this for an album cover, except that it's like wildly like what the fuck, which kind of fits their like theme. But
fun fact too, that kid, he ended up suing them.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. So last year he sued the estate of Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, Dave Grohl, and Courtney Love for like $8 million or something.
Are you kidding me?
Hold on a second here.
That makes me so mad.
Oh, I saw it earlier. I thought it was like $8 million. Oh, no. It says here he was seeking $150,000 each from, I guess there were more people involved in this lawsuit. $150,000 each from 15 people and companies named in the complaint. But yeah, so they went looking. They auditioned babies for this album cover, which is a crazy fucking move. But yeah, this kid's parents were cool with it. They paid the kid's parents to have him on the album cover.
See, hey, if they paid your parents or whatever, I'm sorry, you can't sue. Like, it's just one of those things where...
Oh, well, they paid the parents $200 for the picture.
Yeah, $200 back in the day is a lot of money.
Oh, old man takes coming out early.
No, dude, I'm sorry, but there's so many instances of people suing people for like dumb like, okay, I get it, you're a baby, you didn't have a say in it, but your parents did. Tough luck.
Yeah, that's real tough luck. I feel like that's like, do you think that's a cool thing when you get to high school? Like, hey, I was that little fucker on the album cover.
It would be if you were a cool person.
Yeah.
But it sounds like this guy's a dweeb.
Yeah, this guy's a douche for sure. Oh my god,
let me put it this way: if this guy was cool and he liked Nirvana, he would never sue. He'd be honored.
Well, I think as a younger person, he was like pretty okay with it, and then I don't know. It feels like this kind of came out of nowhere, where he was just like, you know what, fuck these guys.
Yeah, but
money grab.
Yeah, money grab. But also, before we get into this album, do you want to mention Dave Grohl?
Yeah. So after Bleach, they made a band change. They went from that, I'm forgetting his name now already, but they switched the drummer over to Dave Grohl, notable lead singer of Foo Fighters, which I'll probably get into this probably during the Foo Fighters episode, but what a tragic life story of not only Kurt, but Dave Grohl, man. He goes through this whole thing with Nirvana and Kurt maybe not killing himself. And then a few months ago, or maybe last summer, his drummer killed himself.
Yeah, really, really sad. And in both instances, obviously, the guy's, addicted to drugs.
Yeah. It's just we talked about it a little bit with who the hell was it? Anyways, it's just another rock band brought down by drugs and alcohol, man. It's really fucking sad. But anyways, what's his nuts? Dave Grohl is really, really fucking good on drums too. And it comes out through this whole album and the next one, In Utero.
Yeah, so this album, we have to do this album justice and go track by track.
One by one.
Okay.
Kicks off with Smells Like Teen Spirit, the hit off this record.
So, fun fact. Actually, two fun facts. One, this song was almost left off the album.
Jesus Christ.
Because the band thought it sounded too similar to Pixies, which was one of their influences. The producer, Butch Vig, convinced them to keep it and then added some more overdubs and effects to make it sound more polished. Obviously, the song goes on to be one of the biggest hits.
Polished is a funny way of putting this song because it is so like hard and thrashing throughout. But goddamn, this is a classic. This is maybe top 10 most classic rock songs of all time.
Arguably one of the best guitar riffs of all time. Just the...
Yeah. Everybody knows this fucking song. And if you don't know this song, I don't want to talk to you. And I just... Wow.
So one more fun fact: the name for the song was inspired by one of Kurt's ex-girlfriends who wrote on his wall in graffiti, "Kurt smells like Teen Spirit," and Teen Spirit was a brand of deodorant that he used to use.
I think I'd heard that before. That's pretty cool, though. I feel like a lot of their songs get titles from these like odd, innocuous places. Like especially on the next record, I didn't do so much digging into Bleach, but In Utero has a few songs like that too. There's especially one song called "Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle," which is just like a random deep cut of an old actress.
Yeah. Well, also, is it Francis was the name of his daughter?
Yeah, Francis Bean Cobain is his daughter's name, which
Right,
I would
right,
imagine is where he got the inspiration from Frances Farmer. But yeah, anyways, "Smells Like Teen Spirit" is an absolute classic and an incredible, like maybe the best first song on any album of all time.
Yes. An absolute amazing way to open the album.
Yeah, this is nuts. This music video went fucking ballistic on MTV.
Yeah, so the music, do you want to describe it a little bit? And then I've got a fun fact
I'll
on
be
it.
honest, man. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do remember just like when I was younger watching it a few times and be like, holy shit, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's them, and I didn't watch it in preparation for this pod, but I think I remember it. It's them like at like a pep rally or like a school or whatever, and then like it ends up being like a like a just chaos at the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Really
So
fucking cool.
Cool music video. And two, just from the transition from Bleach to Nevermind has to be the greatest like one up from like album to album.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
we could do that. We could do 100 episodes. Where are you gonna find a transition from Bleach to Nevermind? I mean, it's just unreal.
Going from that innocuous to that good in basically a year and a half, 2 years is fucking nuts, dude. But like I said, you could see the hints of it in Bleach, and what I think really happened is they got a little money after they did Bleach. They toured, and then they were able to like hire real fucking people to help them. And they got a hell of a lot better in a hurry because the people around them were that much better.
Yeah, so obviously this song is often interpreted as like a teen revolution anthem.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this song and a lot of the Nirvana songs in general, like some of the lyrics on here are just so random. Like in the chorus for "Smells Like Teen Spirit," it's "a mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido."
Yeah, I said this to our other buddy we were just talking about earlier before, where bands like this, and I think a lot of this is drawn from inspiration from the Beatles, where the Beatles have a lot of songs that I'll call word salad because they're kind of just like fun, catchy words that don't really mean anything. And Nirvana has a lot of songs like that too. But I'm pretty sure Cobain drew pretty good inspiration from the Beatles as well, which is not wholly uncommon.
Yeah, so he also said in one of the interviews I was watching, he's like, yeah, like people always try and interpret my lyrics, and he's like, a lot of times I'm just writing down like just
lazy.
random stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll just pull from like my my book of notes and just throw random things in there.
Yeah.
But for like in preparation for this, I did find for a couple songs where he was like given an interview and he like talked about why he wrote like that song.
There are absolutely some songs like that where it's just word salads, and other ones where he gets into like he has a message.
Yeah.
But that's like we talked a lot last week about Shinedown, where their albums have kind of like a theme or a story to tell. That is not at all the case here. It's just kind of an assortment of random thoughts. Mostly centered around like angst and rebellion, I guess.
Each song is sort of independent of the album.
Yeah, that's all I got on that.
Yeah.
All right. So then next is In Bloom, another classic. It's not listed as one of the most popular songs on Apple, but it damn near. I mean, dude, every song on this album. But yeah, In Bloom's sick.
It's got over 100 million streams. It's popular for sure.
Yeah, it's got another classic riff in the beginning. As soon as you turn it on, you know what it is. This one does have a cool music video, and it's the three guys like dressed up in suits, and they're like playing. It's almost like a prom or something, and then just like chaos ensues around them. It's kind of a fucking cool, fun video to watch.
Yeah, and this song was actually written as like a sarcastic jab at mainstream fans who like Nirvana's music but didn't understand their message.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's like, Cobain said he wrote the song for the many like Gen Xers who bought into the grunge scene after Nirvana became popular and mocked them for singing along to the lyrics.
Okay.
So that's like he's the one who likes all our pretty songs and he likes to sing along and he likes to shoot his gun, but he don't know what it means.
Okay, that makes sense. And they would have never got that either. Like that's kind of his whole point is like they'll like this song too and they'll never fucking get it.
Yeah, it wasn't like top 5 most popular, but it's certainly top 10.
I mean, it's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Yeah, mine too.
All right. It moves from there into Come As You Are. Slows it down a little bit.
But they're still batting 1,000.
Still batting 1,000. This is an awesome song, and oh man, are you familiar with the Blink-182 tie-in here?
No.
Okay, so, here, let me pull up the lyrics real quick. At one point, Kurt sings, "Take your time, hurry up. The choice is yours. Don't be late."
Right.
A few years later, Blink-182 puts out, what was that?
Adam's song?
Adam's song,
Or
yeah.
Stay Together for the Kids?
No, Adam's song. In Adam's song, they sing, "I took my time, I hurried up, the choice was mine, I didn't think enough."
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize
A little callback
that.
to this song. I don't know what the hell any of that means anyways, but it's pretty fucking cool. Somebody just told me that was probably something I learned just like working with random people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, check this out." Pretty fucking cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the riff to open this song and like the melody are so catchy, and then Cobain's voice just comes in and just pierces the track.
He sounds, he really leans into that deep voice he's got on this track. And yeah, he's really, really fucking good here.
Yeah. So when I was trying to look into like the meaning for this one, they were saying, they encourage folks to be themselves, but comment on society's expectations that impact the way that people can actually act and present themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And then one more fun fact. So Nirvana got sued a billion times, but
yeah,
they actually got sued for this song.
What?
So the riff sounds really similar to a Killing Jake song called 80s, and Cobain actually admitted he was aware of the similarity, but hoped that Killing Joke wouldn't sue him. So Killing Joke ended up filing a lawsuit, but then after Cobain died, they
well, at least they had
rescinded
the dignity and not the little shithead on the cover.
For real, dude.
Oh man. Although I guess, like, who are you really stealing money from? Courtney Love at this point? Like,
That's a good point.
yeah.
Dave Grohl's got enough money too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What's $150,000 to them? That's all I got on Come As You Are. Coming up next, Breed, still 1,000.
Yep.
This is kind of like a satirical song about like dumb people that just need to stop having kids. But it's hard and heavy the whole way through, and it's really fucking cool. Again, another song that I just love off this album.
Same.
That's all I got there.
Same. So then it gets into Lithium. So this song is actually named after the mood stabilizing drug. Cobain never took it, but he was fascinated by it.
Gotcha.
And he said he got the idea for this song from a friend who had joined a Christian cult and used religion as a substitute for drugs. So it's like about a man who like turns to God after his girlfriend dies. You can kind of hear it if you look at the lyrics of this.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up real quick.
That's interesting too, because Kurt had a somewhat fascination with religions. Through his life, he kind of explored. He grew up Christian, but explored Jainism, explored Buddhism, and was interested in just learning more and more about different religions around the world.
Yeah, so the lyrics for Lithium: Sunday morning is every day for all I care, and I'm not scared. Light my candles in a daze, because I found God. And then it gets into arguably the best one-word chorus.
I never thought about it like that, but yeah, it really doesn't have a chorus. He's just kind of yeah the whole way through.
The whole chorus is just him going, yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, this song's fucking badass too, man. No doubter.
One of my favorites.
The next song's pretty weird. I like it. It's just weird.
You looked into the meaning?
Not a ton, but I know just what I've heard.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe I'll let you take this one.
So the next song on this album is Polly. So this song Cobain wrote, it's about a kidnapping of a 14-year-old girl. So she was kidnapped in 1987, returning from a concert in Tacoma, Washington, which obviously Cobain's from Washington. and she was abducted by this guy. He took her back to his mobile home and raped her. The girls, whose name was not released, was tortured with a whip, a razor, and a blowtorch.
Jesus
And
Christ.
all three of those items are in the song, lyrically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she managed to escape when this guy took her for a ride and stopped for gas, and then he was sent to jail.
Right.
And that is part of the song too.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't have it up.
Hold on a sec. I'll pull it up here.
Let me take a ride. Cut yourself.
Yeah. She caught me off guard. Will of Instinct. Yeah, I never knew what the story was behind this song. I've listened to this song a million times, and I always thought it was interesting, like the conjunction between like the whole song is kind of a play on like owning a bird. Polly is like a stereotypical name for a parrot, and he talks about like clipping broke or dirty wings, and so there's kind of this like insinuation that it's about like a caged bird. But then spliced in with really like fucked up lyrics about like tying people up and doing horrible things. And it's simple musically. Like it's just kind of Kurt plucking away, and he doesn't even really like raise his voice a whole lot in this song. He just tells the story, and it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely very unique.
Yeah, not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of Nirvana's songs. And I think the next song is pretty similar in that sense that it's not for the faint-hearted. Territorial Pissings is heavy as fuck. This is a little bit more like their old the Bleach stuff. This is I guess I would say maybe one of my less favorite songs on this album. But still pretty good.
Yeah, obviously Native Americans, sexism.
Yeah.
Those are the themes of the song.
Themes here.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the heavier ones on the album.
Yeah. Then it goes to Drain You. I've heard this song a million times too. Classic. This is right in the top, probably top 10. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't. This might have been one of the ones where he's like, people try and read into this, and it's just jumbled.
It's a little bit jumbled.
But from trying to read into it, people were saying it could be about heroin or about a girl.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that is I feel like he really doesn't write a lot about his drug use. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
no, I mean, I think he like there's a couple songs where he like
mentions
what is it? All Apologies, where he's talking about wanting to be like a better father and husband, but he never really specifically
talks about his own drug use.
Right.
Which is interesting, especially when you like put that in conjunction with Shinedown we just talked about last week, where Brent Smith is constantly talking about almost constantly talking about his drug use.
Yeah, and going back, this is actually third week in a row because Chester Bennington.
Yeah, same thing.
He talks about his demons, but he almost never specifically references.
Right. He more just kind of. Let's go to like. He talks about the effects of it rather than like the bit itself,
Right.
But yeah, you don't even really see him talk much about it, like even the effects of it. There's not a whole lot of songs about it.
No, and so Kurt Cobain had chronic like stomach pain.
Yeah, he did a song on the next album kind of about that.
Yeah, and like he went to the doctors for, I think he was saying like in an interview, like 6 years, and he was just drug after drug, nothing helped, and he was saying like every meal he would eat, like he would either like throw it up or just like be in pain or whatever, and then it's just, he literally said he's like, I want to kill myself because of how much pain I'm in with the stomach issue.
Right, and then the interesting about that too is like they talked about it a little bit in the documentary I watched, Soaked in Bleach, where a lot of the people that he was around, even while he was dealing with these stomach pains, when he was around the people like that he spent time with, for the most part, he was a kind of jovial might be an extreme word, but happy enough guy.
Yeah, and so with the heroin, that's kind of why I brought it up. He said that when he did heroin, it helped with his stomach pains.
Yeah.
Although I know heroin can also cause you to vomit, but
yeah, but also like think about it this way, right? Like heroin is basically the same thing as morphine, and morphine is used to treat pain. So
true.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all I got on Drain You. Good song though.
Yeah, definitely.
Lounge Act is another. If any, I would say this is one of the other deep cuts off this song or off this album. I like this song. I don't love this song. I like this song. I don't know. you probably got some notes about it.
Yeah, so this was there's a couple songs where people speculated it was about one of his ex-girlfriends in specific, Toby.
Okay.
This is the only song Cobain admitted was about her.
Okay.
The line, "I'll arrest myself, I'll wear a shield," refers to a tattoo Cobain had on his shoulder, which was a shield with the letter K on it.
Oh, shit.
The title of this song, so Lounge Act, comes from the fact that Nirvana thought that the bass intro sounded like something a cheesy lounge band would use.
Like in the back of the movie theater, or not the movie theater, like a bowling alley band or something.
Yeah. And this one, I mean, is pretty evident. It's about a relationship.
Yeah.
One of the lines is, I still smell her on you.
Right,
so.
right. I always kind of, I haven't listened to this too many times, but I always thought maybe that was like a dig that she was maybe like a stripper or something. But
oh yeah, I could see that.
But again, I'm not super familiar with this song. Anyways, that's all I got there.
Yeah. So next song, "Stay Away."
Stay Away, good one here. Another deep-ish cut off this album.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good song. I like it. Not too heavy, but that's, again, the nice thing about this album is that they didn't do a whole lot of the shit they did on Bleach. They tuned it into that like middle range, and that's part of what I love about this album, where even the deep cuts that like you might not listen to all the time are still good songs, and that's evident here.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So next song is
On a Plane.
On a Plane. Sneaky. I really like this song.
Sneaky, really good. They do this on the MTV Unplugged too, and I love the unplugged version of this song. Yeah, I don't know how much to say about this that I haven't already said about every other song, but
yeah, it's just a good song.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next one, Something in the Way.
Oh, this is the last song on this album, by the way. So, well, let's just talk about it and I'll get to it. The last song on this 12 set album, on the vinyl, this album is 12 songs long. Something in the Way is like this slower, low-sounding, haunting music. Again, I'm starting to like really think about bands that are doing this, where their last song is like a little bit slower and more emotional. And this is absolutely one of those songs. They get strings involved, like it sounds like they got like violin or something in the background. It's really fucking cool and like kind of haunting almost.
Yeah, so a couple things on this song. One, I hadn't heard this song until the new Batman with Robert Pattinson came out.
Oh yeah, that was the commercial song.
Yeah, and the song ended up like getting back on like the Billboard charts after
that. Yeah, I
which
saw that.
Funny.
It's fucking crazy.
The second thing, vocally, Cobain is like whispering into the mic.
Yeah, he just kind of sounds like this the whole time, just not really raising his voice a whole lot.
Like, we listened to it on the car ride. We were on a longer car ride over the weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
The song came on, and my wife looked at me. She's like, "Like, can you turn it off? I can't hear what he's saying."
He's also just like moaning into it half the time. Just. Yeah. This is different than every other song on the record. Frankly, different than every other song they've made to this point.
Yeah. So speculation on this one into what the lyrics are actually about is Cobain's life of at one point he was living under a bridge.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which
makes sense.
Underneath the bridge is the lyric from the song.
Yeah.
And yeah, just expressing some, more feelings and emotions, something in the way. There's always something in the way every time he tried to do better for himself or get better.
Yeah, somebody who dealt with trouble all through his life, just trying to like fucking survive, basically.
And yeah, to your point, this is like an anomaly in terms of Nirvana sound.
Yeah, even on the next record, they don't have anything like this that I can think of, but maybe we'll get to it when we get there. But yeah, just a really different song, and I love it, and I love it on the Unplugged too.
Yeah, so you said that was the last song on the album.
Yes. So Nirvana, the 12-song set list on the record, the vinyl record, ends with Something in the Way. If you left the side of the album that finished with Something in the Way on the record, after 10 minutes of just hearing static, then you would hear the 13th song on the track, Endless Nameless, which is fucking crazy. I think this is something bands did sometimes, but they call it like a ghost track. And not everybody like even listened to it, because when you hear the static come, you just flip the record, And I'm not sure it was printed on the CDs either, if CDs were even a thing at this time, 1991. But Yeah, if you just left the record on for 10 minutes, then it got into Endless Nameless.
That's crazy. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's so fucking cool, dude.
It's a 6-minute song too, and
yeah. So I'm imagining this has got to be like a 2-disc set, because just having something in the way and this song with a 10-minute gap in between on one side of the vinyl has to take up the whole fucking disc. I mean, that's like 20 minutes of music for 2 songs and 10 minutes of static. What the fuck?
wow, that's really cool about like the ghost tracks.
Yeah. So I don't know of any other bands that have done this, but I did a little bit of reading on this song, and it sounds like this might have been something other bands did too. But it's pretty fucking cool. Not everybody found it, but the people who did got a little bonus. Now, that being said, you were heavily rewarded with not only word salad but music salad. Endless Nameless is right back to their Bleach roots. It's almost like a jam band song, but like if the jam bands were like high as fuck and just like doing a little bit of music on their own, like everybody was doing their own little bit and none of it matched up together. That's Endless Nameless.
Yeah, it's almost like if they had just recorded like them recording Bleach, they were just recording like them jamming like randomly, trying to come up with stuff.
That's honestly what this sounds like. It sounds like they were just like fucking around and like doing different stuff. And then Kurt was like, "Wait, I think I could put a track to this. Hang on." And he like grunt moans, like sings into the mic for like half of the song, and then the last 3 minutes of the song or so are just aimless like guitar riffs. It's really fucking weird, but a little treat for those who stayed.
Yeah, it's cool that they did it as a ghost track.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not a way to close out the album.
Yeah, Something in the Way is a much better close to this album. But I think Endless Nameless does get a little bit of recognition for being that like little Easter egg at the end, which is kind of fucking cool.
That's awesome.
All right. I don't think I have anything else on this album except
I've got one other fun fact for
go
this
for
album.
it.
So during the release party for this album, Cobain and the band members showed up drunk. Soon they started throwing watermelon and like food dressing from the food table onto each other, and then it soon changed into a food fight, and they actually got kicked out of their own album release party.
Oh, that's classic rock band shit right there. Oh man, I love that. Was that at like the record label or something?
I don't have a location.
I'm just imagining them at Geffen Records. Dave Geffen's like this big fucking multi-millionaire. He's got this big old recording studio. They set aside a whole like big ass room, and Kurt and fucking Dave Grohl or whatever are just fucking throwing sandwiches at each other.
drunk as a skunk.
That's so fucking awesome, man. No, I don't. It probably wasn't Dave. It was probably Novoselic. But anyways,